Do you remember my Rage review? Not the Rage as in I'm angry Rage. No, Rage, the video game. That review is still on this channel. You can find it if you like. That game was made by, I want to say, the people that did Doom or Duke Nukem. It's one of those big bombastic shooters that really get you in the mood. And Bulletstorm is in the same vein as those games. Bulletstorm is a science fiction action shooter. Now, there's a lot of stuff on here that a lot of people might poo-poo on, such as Epic Games and EA. I don't mind them as much. I don't necessarily like live service things. I have certainly made plenty of rage about that. But in regards to their products, games, when they're good, they're good. Now, Bulletstorm, obviously, with these two companies involved, pushed multiplayer heavily. They heavily pushed it. It's like all over the back of this case. Multiplayer. You have a little code for your multiplayer. Ugh! I don't really care for it at all. And of course, if you try to play Bulletstorm for the PS3 today, you're not going to be able to even get on anyways. And you're going to have to make a separate account and all that stuff. And there's a lot of pop-ups that say, blah, 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 blah. This service is currently down. Their service is down forever, blah, blah, blah. Just skip it all and go to the menu. The campaign is on the disc, and you can play it. You can play the campaign single player, and it is a fantastic story. They sadly never made a sequel concluding that story. I hope they come back to this. A lot of the voice actors are still very good. Steve Blum voices the main character here. He kind of even is modeled after his Wolverine character. He looks like Wolverine in space. It's fantastic. I absolutely love it. The story is about a bunch of outlaws who used to work for the military before they realized that their commanding officer was a shady piece of crap. So they turncoated and tried to kill him, and over the past, I think, 10 years, they've been on a rampage in the star systems going after this general. And you open with them making one last-ditch attack on this general, this squad of like 4 fighters, and they crash the big ship of the general. I forget his name, but the ship is called the Ulysses. So they crash the Ulysses onto a resort planet that is currently undergoing an apocalypse. There's some heavy radiation going on the planet, and everything has been mutated into such horrific things, while the buildings and all of the tech is still operational. There's electricity and everything's going on, but there's just crazy mutants and gangs and all this crazy stuff going on. It's like a Rage in space, basically. And I absolutely loved it. I loved every minute of the campaign. I loved the story. I loved the characters. The main character, Gray, he's fantastic. The guns that you get to use are also fantastic. You only get a handful of them, but they have very lasting usage. In the game, the campaign is just long enough so that the few guns you have access to do not get old. You just get enough time with them to master them and become very effective at taking everything out, because the gameplay is very fast-paced. This isn't something where you just camp down in a spot and shoot things. You need to move. You need to keep moving. You're running through here. You get a kick option. If you kick an enemy, most enemies will fly back, and they have a little anti-gravity slow motion field where you can bombard them with any further attacks you like. You'll eventually get access to a grappling laser. I forget what it's called, the tether, the lasso, and you'll be able to grab enemies from very far away, not really far away, but very far away, and pull them in a sort of scorpion get over here type of thing. And then they'll also enter a slow motion anti-gravity field where you get to unload on your guns into their faces while they're floating in midair. And that's very fun. You also get points for kills, very creative types of kills. For example, if you kick an enemy off of a platform, like literally you're on a platform, you're like on the edge of a big skyscraper, and you kick an enemy off the skyscraper, you'll get bonus points. These bonus points, for all of the points that you make, for all of the kills that you make, go towards these ammo crates that are scattered throughout the game, and you log into those and spend points on ammunition, gun upgrades, and all of that stuff. So you basically get rewarded for being skillful in the game. If you just kill people with normal basic shooting shots, you're not going to get too much points. You have to be creative. For example, use a kick, float somebody in midair, pull out a magnum, shoot their face, and the head explodes. You'll get points for headless shot. If you pull out a shotgun after kicking them and having them floating in midair, and you use a shotgun to the top half of their body, which basically dismembers them, you'll get a dismemberment special bonus points. Every type of kill, any type of thing using the environment, kicking an enemy onto a wall of spikes, kicking an enemy into a running engine turbine, and all of these things are all special ways of getting more experience points, basically, to upgrade your weapons and buy more ammunition. And you're going to need the ammunition because there's no other way of getting ammunition other than drops of guns by enemies. So if you kill an enemy and they're using a gun, you can pick their gun up for extra ammo. But there's not too many of those, and some of the guns are going to be pretty rare to find. So if you're using like the basic rifle, you're going to get plenty of ammo for that. Everybody uses it. But if you want to use this drill gun, the sniper rifle, a magnum, and all that stuff, there's not going to be as many opportunities to get ammunition for them. So if you use those often, you're going to need these loot crates to expend skill points to buy ammunition to recover your stuff. It's a very fun game, and there are easy modes. If you're absolutely garbage at shooters, that's completely fine. I was garbage at shooters, you know. I play on easy mode a lot. I play normal mode a lot. But if you need to play easy mode, it's here, and you can play easy mode and treat this game like an action shooter, running into hailstorms of bullets like you're a bullet sponge yourself, and just kick enemies and start going all sorts of nuts on everybody. You could do that in easy mode. You can't really do that in the harder difficulties because the enemy gunfire will take you out pretty fast. But if you just want to have fun, then have fun. You know, this game is fun. It oozes fun. It oozes it. It's just like Rage, but sadly Rage had cool driving mechanics at races and car battles and Carmageddon and all sorts of crazy stuff like that. Kind of like Twisted Metal meets Mad Max, basically. But sadly, this doesn't have Rage's car combat. There's a couple segments where you're on a vehicle and you get to use a Gatling gun. Obviously, that's typical of a lot of these types of shooters, but outside of that, the actual shooting part, it's the best part of the game. The campaign is easily worth the price of admission. If you can find a copy of Bulletstorm, you can find it for like $5 at a used media store. If you can find it, and you can find it for $5 to $10, get it, put it in your PS3, and play the campaign. I don't care how you find this game. It says Epic Games here, so it might even be on the Epic Games Store. You go ahead and find it there if you'd like. It's a very fun time. Find a way to play it. I implore you, find a way to play Bulletstorm.